Ok, sorry about that. Désolé, ça a été plus long que prévu. J'ai eu quelques problèmes techniques. Là. It's been happening to me quite a lot recently. J'ai eu là, quite the problem aussi avec le stream la semaine passée. Mais bon, tout est. Everything's set up. Tout est beau. Bien sûr, I'm missing my actual paint. I don't have my water and my paintbrushes, but. Il va falloir que je commence là, par finir le dessin en tant que tel. I'm just gonna have to start by finishing the actual drawing. I might not even have my colored pencils actually. Gotta be kidding me. I do have them. Little update, I do have them. I also have this big ass dang brush qui va aller bien pour faire l'arrière-plan. It's gonna go great to do the background. Let me get the colored pencils. Colored pencils. Again, thanks to people who are joining today. It won't be a portrait. It'll be some sci-fi stuff. This little post-apocalyptical monster or something. I'm gonna have fun doing. If I can finish setting up. I had quite the time just getting everything ready. Yeah. So let's get started. Je voulais finir là. I wanted to finish those cars a bit that he's standing on before moving forward. Just to give him some weight pour lui donner de la prestance là. Just gonna do it like he's actually stepping on the car. Il va être comme vraiment là, en train de mettre son pied sur le char. Fait que c'est ça qu'on fait en ce moment. Bon. Désolé pour le timer là, qui était quand même interminable. It's that kind of morning, I guess. I don't even know how big actually this car is gonna be. Peut-être usually I use reference for this sort of thing. Might have to. Donnez-moi un instant. Just a simple Google away. More. You know, I think I have enough juice to go on. Ooh. Okay, let's move this back up. So usually some doors have some sort of width to them. These mechanism too. These pencils were advertised as erasable. They kind of are. So let's apparently, there we go. some broken windows, stuff like that. So this is, I wanted to get this done before the stream actually, but I guess I just ran out of time. Set everything up, and then I downloaded some new apps, downloadé une nouvelle application pour barrer, pour pas que l'écran se barre automatiquement on my camera, so my camera will stay unlocked. I won't have to touch it. And you can also see a bit more of what I'm doing because I was able to get a bigger kind of setup for the image resolution. But I do see some interesting. Oh, that's why it wasn't working. So I can actually make this a bit bigger. Let me just fiddle a little bit because I don't want to see no black bars on the sides of the screen. It's not interesting for no one. Is it actually bigger than before? Oh, aha! Oh, I can't get it big. Can I? Nope, I cannot get it bigger. Oh, yeah, that's a text message. That's gonna be a problem. Okay. So I guess it won't be any bigger than we're used to. That's fine. That's okay. Sorry, I'm just fiddling with technical stuff. There we go. Let's move that over. Bam. Okay, so it's a bit bigger. It's a bit better to see what I'm doing. So I'm working on this car right here. Some sort of wrecked bumper. I might also just take this real quick. Sorry about this. Come on. Do not disturb. There we go. What was this one? There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Bosa? Oh. Okay. Let's continue. That don't make no sense. Maybe just a silhouette right here. Always good to have some framing devices. And also the length of the stream will be dictated by the battery of the camera, as always. Now the new app that I found so that there's less of an overlay to get a better resolution isn't working really top notch, and it's kind of locked in on a certain brightness. So that might be an issue, but look. Just carry on. I think that's looking pretty cool. You know, it's at a state where I can comfortably start painting, I believe. Now, you shouldn't do these crisscrosses like I do them. Usually you want to follow the forme, sur la forme, la plane, the planar perspective or whatever when you're doing the shadows. That way it brings in some aspect of realism, I believe. Now, the only thing left would be maybe adding some little bit of red. Let's see if I can just get this. Okay. Okay. Maybe adding a bit of red on the you know, something gruesome. Maybe around his mouth, his whole tongue kind of thing. So, okay. It always looks gruesome when monsters have like bloodshot eyes and blood around the mouth. Now see, we might run into a problem because I did the inside of the mouth red and then I just went and put some red on the outside of the mouth, so that'll be tricky to, might be tricky to render. Some really light red. So I probably can't see, but I did put some sort of like a red pencil wash, if you will, on this whole head. So like I put a bit of red everywhere. So that should be pretty cool in the rendering. Gonna his hands too, his kind of testicular hands. His hands birthed from his testicular arms, more like. I want those red too. And there we go. Let's just see. Okay. That and probably this one. Just put some blood everywhere. So this might be like a painting that I finish off with like a paintbrush and just splattering like either white paint and then going over and putting some red on top. So I put my red, everything. Now it's time to do the wash. Now it is a much like bigger painting than I usually do, so that'll be interesting because usually I have some space to leave the corners more without paint, let's say. That's a smart word to put it. So let me go ahead and get, just wanted to make sure my mic wasn't muted. So let me get my water and then I'll get started. Okay, let me mute so you don't hear my chair moan and creak. All right, so everything's set up. I have my cloth and cloth. Yeah, cloth, gross cloth, Ace cot towel, and I decided it'd be nice to have like a second palette so I can put more water on the on it, because my huge Bob Ross one, as cool as it is, I'm holding it with my hands and I can't always. Oh, damn! I don't even have my paint. My God, let's get it together. Jeez. Okay, so I'll be able to start painting at one point. I promise. So I got. I didn't have my paint out, so you know, I'm this close from being like the complete antithesis from Bob Ross and just like screaming my paint onto the canvas, which probably would be pretty entertaining, though. Gonna run out of white soon. Doctor. So some red. So I saw something really cool too on the latest David Finch stream, where he had a gradient on the wash, which looked amazing once it was painted over. So what I'm gonna do is the bottom is gonna be a bit more bluish than the top, so it's gonna give a really nice like colder hue on the bottom of the image. So I was really excited when I saw that, and had my painter senses tingling. I was like, oh, I gotta try that out. So I'm pretty far from the mic, sorry about that. Yeah, so as I was saying, just a small gradient in the wash, which I guess could also be something that I could port over into digital painting if I wanted to. There I go again, speaking super far away from the mic. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna start with this fan brush here. It's the one I did the wash with last week. I will not be using it for the wash this week because I had actually like bristles from the brush appearing onto the canvas. So I'm just gonna use it to there we go, to mix up the paint. Just squish that right here. Probably gonna put it onto my other one. Okay. Okay. Just a little light water swooshin. Okay. So I have the orange. No, I guess I could mix both right away. I was like, do I do one after the other, or I guess it'd be simpler and smarter. So I wanted some sort of dark blue, maybe with a hint of yellow, to give it some sort of like weird acidic blue tone. Yep. So that'll work. That'll work just fine. There we go. So you can see I have my colors here on this one and pachow on here. So I do also have like a running list of things I learn while doing these streams. The first one I actually started doing without any like Scott towels or what do you call them? Rags? Yeah. So that was quite the learning experience. It's muy importante to have rags with you while you paint. My God, did this paint brush hold water? Jeez. Okay. So I don't want too much water either, but see, this is gonna be good. So I can just like, ooh, that's cool. Oh wow, I like doing this with a huge brush. Also, another thing I learned last week is not to go too hard on like the brush strokes while I'm doing the wash, because it actually like hurts the paper. So let me put this down, and then I can start the wash for the rest. Maybe just towel, some water. This also gives nice texture in the image. It's a really simple way to put CI. I used to start actually paintings like this. Like I'd spend like a day. Well, I do the background like a day before I actually do the actual painting, just to set up the background. I'd like throw paint at it, scratch the canvas to get like different layers of paint thickness on there. That sort of stuff ends up looking really cool, and then you just let it dry for a day, and then whatever you do on that canvas, it'll have tons of texture because you spent that time overlaying lots and lots of like information on the bottom layer. So just a little bit more color on the bottom. That should look pretty cool. Let me just pat some down. Oh no, I just like ripped part of the paper off with my fingernail. That's great. So, okay, so cool. That should be really interesting. So what I'm gonna do now is set this up to dry. Just do the corners. Bam. Okay. Bring a Bamber Lance. Bring a paint Bamber Lance. Okay, so I'll set this up to dry on the windowsill before it starts raining. And so great. So this, and oh wow, that is some wet paper. So hopefully, maybe it'll even like these. That is gonna take usually longer than it usually does, because that is wet. I'm gonna have to, yeah, that is gonna take a bit longer than it usually does to dry, because it's super wet. So during that time, I'll just go rinse out my other paintbrush. Did I have water on the floor? Oh my God. Okay, rinse out my huge paintbrush, which I won't be using anymore, and set up to sketch a bit in between, and I'll be sketching out some zombies. Okay, so these guys, wait a minute, that's gross. These guys, okay. Yep. So this type of dude. I'll just hold it up like this. There we go. So that's what I'll be painting. I'll be right back. Okay, great. So I just got a teeny bit of water on my mic. Shouldn't be the end of the world. You know, being more prepared, I might have covered my keyboard, just in case it got paint on it, but that's fine. That's okay. So while the other one, Louise, get your face out of my painting. 2 seconds. Hello, hello. On va mettre ça là, ok? Pas que tu y touches. Okay, so the space being what it is, I kind of have to place the painting to dry right beside where my cat sleeps, where her favorite shoebox. And you know, as cats do, she was getting real curious. Started not eating the paper, but probably wasn't too far from trying it out. Okay, so yeah, gonna sketch out some zombies. I wanted to set up a composition for the comic, for the cover of my next comic book, which is gonna be like some alien space zombies. Sounds kind of redundant because there's, you know, aliens are from elsewhere in space, so some space zombies. And these guys kind of, they bite off heads, they bite off pieces of bodies, and they have something that goes into people and then like reconstructs the part that they destroyed, kind of like a lizard growing pieces back, but like in a bad way. So say it chops off the head, well, it'll reconstruct the head really weirdly. So like with the ears like super low and like only one eye, and the teeth all weird and stuff, or like, you know, one eye in the mouth, one eye beside it. So like I just want to kind of have fun with that, and I was kind of inspired by the Pirates of the Caribbean movie there with the Davy Jones people. So yeah, and the plan was to have, so let's, what I usually like to do, this is a widescreen, so it's a widescreen aspect ratio. So I usually like to just divide my page into 4 and try to find like interesting compositions, just thumbnailing. And I did want also to get inspired by, I wanted it to have some sort of Frazetta look. So this dude right here, he's a great artist, one of the greats, and he thought so too, because he, I think like, I don't, wow, this is a real disservice to him. I don't remember if he's still alive or not, but I know that he refers to himself as the Legend, which is great. And I just wanted to get inspired by some of his compositions, because he has a lot of like people being overrun by other like creatures, or you know, that kind of stuff. So I just want to get inspired by that and see if I can like Jesus. See, like this is just crazy. Yeah, yeah, you can't really see it, but yeah, it's pretty wild, pretty wild. And he painted a lot of the Princess. There was an edition of the Princess of Mars books that he made the covers for, which were really cool. Which was a great movie as well. If ever you slept on those, you should not. Despite what everyone was saying, it was pretty cool. So maybe I want to have like I would like to have one of the zombies actually looking at the camera. Yeah, this thumbnailing isn't gonna work on for you guys. It must be boring as hell to watch. So let's actually do it, just 2 of them, like this, so they can be a bit bigger. So I do want to have like a my Space Marines. They have like a shotgun at the end of the arm and a chainsaw on the other one. So very like Doom-esque, but not Doom. Wow. ridiculous amounts of pressure. Maybe I suggest. So let me just sketch out the actual characters just to get a feel for the piece. So I had a lot of, while designing them, I actually designed them with like a full face mask. But since it's going to be, I want to experiment with a comic book that has like no talking, no captions whatsoever. And the only like sound or writing in it is going to be like sound effects. And like the word bubbles are going to be empty. So I thought that having like no speech and no mouths or no expression might be like too, well, you wouldn't be able to like relate with the characters, so I gave them kind of open mouthed helmets that probably like have some sort of force field protection or something, because it'd be pretty stupid to have some sort of platoon dropping to kill a bunch of zombies or something and they had like an uncovered mouth. So, I'll probably have like, since this is a cover, I want to have like a real showy, you know, position for the characters. Really like if they were starring in their own action movie, which, you know, is kind of what it is, really. So this guy's gonna be like holding up his chainsaw like this, probably tons of blood. So sometimes like ideas are just born out of these sketches. Like now I want him to be swiping. Like swiping that chainsaw arm, and then it just like decapitates one of the zombies that's overrunning them. This is probably going to be a platoon of, it starts off, watch this, with a platoon of 3. But you know, as all good zombie fanfare goes, they don't all get out of it alive. So this guy's got like a, yeah, so he's got eyes in his mouth, kind of thing. Oh, like that. So, like, I always start off with really crude sketches. I've returned to like drawing on paper a little bit before I actually started returning to painting, because there's something you can't get from tablets. Like I've been working digitally for quite a while, and like I absolutely love digital art and digital drawing. It's just so versatile, and you can do anything. But like sometimes having a bit of boundaries breeds creativity. Like I forgot how to say that, but you know what I mean. So his shotgun arm, it's like towards the camera, like bam bam, you know. This is probably why I never grew up, because my favorite thing to do is just draw and ramble sound effects while I'm doing it. It's a super adult thing to do. So you know, I'm gonna have a lot of fun with some sort of like grindhouse, very like action oriented scenes, because like I tried doing them just holding normal guns and stuff, and I was storyboarding it, and guns inside comic books, they don't transfer very well. I find that there's no excitement, it's not like hand-to-hand fighting or like swords and stuff. Guns just don't work as well in comic books. You're only like a certain way. So, you know, prove me wrong, but the type of comic, like what I seem to be drawn to or like to draw or able to draw correctly even, is usually the guns, it doesn't transfer well for me. So okay, so see, this is nice. I'm liking the of course the actual suits need to be designed. I will actually be designing them in VR, rough shapes really, because I want to this cover will be like a mixture of tons of different techniques, they call them. So there we go. Let's see. Oh, sorry, Louise. So it's getting there. Okay, it's like can't see anything. It's like 10% dry. No, it's 10% off of being dry. So, you know, one would say 90% dry. It's getting there. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Yep, pretty excited about that. Let's put that back there. Let's put it back here. Say hi to Louise and continue sketching a bit. So, for the sake of being able to see what I'm doing on the stream, I'll turn it around. So let's maybe actually just try to continue this guy. I might even have the sketches of the characters down underneath the where the slideshow is. So you might be able to see those there. I'm also a real sucker for simple designs, because the more complicated like a suit or whatever gets, the less recognizable it is, and you kind of want your characters to stand out, you know. So on this end, I'm sort of like I always liked the zombie that had no like bottom jaws either. I find they're just right away you know what they are, and very recognizable. I'm gonna have a lot of fun, I think, designing these in VR. I'm gonna like model probably one or two of them, along with pieces for the suits of the characters in specific positions, so that I can have like reference for metal and materials, and like get quick lighting reference. see, this one is actually one of the Marines. That's a zombie. And they're also going to be like kind of like caught in some sort of like gasoline, like, or like some sort of really viscous like venom type strings that'll be kind of like walking around with them. So that should be really cool, which is like the things right here that are like around the characters. Hey Kayla. This is actually, it's for a comic, so this is going to be for a comic book cover that I'm working on. I actually have my first webcomic releasing this week, and I've started working on the next one, which is Platoon 42, which is going to be some these people that get dropped in to an overrun city and try to assess the damage, or they have some sort of mission. So I'm designing elements for like a comic for the cover. So while my painting dries, so I wanted to have like maybe a zombie that has an eyeball in his mouth instead of in the eye socket, and like one that has a head, like the mouth over the eyes, like on top of the head. So just having fun with that a little bit. Thanks. Yeah, the first one is releasing. It's not from this series. It's a one shot. It's releasing this week. It's gonna be Thursday or Friday, which is planned to do. I still don't know exactly how it's gonna be released, because publishing on the web, it's super. I'd like to it's gonna be free for sure, but I'd like to release it somewhere where I can see how many people downloaded it, so that like. That's why I'm not too sure about posting it on like Reddit or GitHub or Tumblr. I want like people to have to download it so I can see how many people read it or like were interested. So yeah, so probably gonna make myself a Gumroad or something, and going to release it there. It's called Herald of the Fall, and I actually have the comic book cover part of it on my Instagram page, which is the same thing as my my Twitch account, and you can actually sorry about that. You can access it through the QR codes that are on the top of the screen. All right, so I can finally continue. Sorry about that. My painting, which is inspired by the Tomorrow War. I quite enjoyed the movie, and I really like the creature designs, which apparently not everybody did, but I quite enjoyed them. And I was inspired to just make like a shot of one of the creatures just standing, on like a downed car or something. So let's start with some big strokes. Always start darker. So I do usually one round of like dark values, and then get to work on the lighter values. Okay. Just want like a nice gray that's not totally black, that I can play with. So put a bit of white in there, and all right. So, all right, this should be interesting. This is really the first like full creature I decided to do. I did two other, they were more like portraits, so this will be interesting. yeah, if ever you have any questions or comments, or curious about something, don't hesitate to ask there. That's why I'm here. Just probably gonna be like a really strong rim light or something on this side. What's really important too when you're painting is to not get overwhelmed, because at one point it looks like crap. Just like digital painting, at one point it looks really bad, and it's really easy to get lost in what you're doing, and you just have to stay focused and stay on the trail, just carry on, keep calm and carry on, as they would say. Yeah, really showing my age there. Yeah. It's way too dark, so. Oh yeah, I want to see. Nice, you do still life paintings. What kind is it, like anatomy, or do you paint well, still life? So no, it's not anatomy. So it's like flowers, or like plein air painting. But yeah, you just have to you can't let it get you down, because at one point it always looks messy and you start getting lost. And because how I do it, I always start with the dark ones and then go into the clear ones. So when you're deep into the dark values, it just starts to look real muddy, like it does now. Kind of. So I just have to stay the course. Ooh, let's see. No. And I also try to get as much done with the current brush I'm using before switching over. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, organic shapes are really fun to do. I tried a couple of times some just sitting down in a wooded area or something, drawing some trees. It's really fun. stuff that like when you're younger, like as a teen, you're like, ew, that's boring. I don't want to draw that. And then like you get older and you're like, you know, this is quite interesting. And always, what's fun too is like you to take pictures of like, say if you do like me there and you're kind of like doing a wash, you take pictures of your pencil drawing before getting onto the actual painting, so that you can see kind of, you know, what went wrong, what you could have done differently, like, and just like kind of like a post-mortem of you know, what you did. It's always interesting and fun to do. It's something that I keep forgetting though. Like this is the third week in a row I do one of these traditional streams, and thank God that the other two came out really nicely. So I didn't have to worry too much about the fact that I didn't take a photo of it. But man, the amount of drawings I ruined because I forgot to take a picture, so you know you can't put it on the computer, you can't do anything with it really. So you want to put a little bit of value on the background. Wow, and doing still lives and stuff, you must learn a lot about local color and such, because that's something that I struggle with a lot. You'll notice that most of my paintings, it's two-tone, it's very muted, and like there's no local color really, so that's something I really have to practice. This is a building behind our main baddie. So yeah, so I'm happy about that. I might go ahead and switch to a no, not yet. So just saw something. So this guy. Okay, perfect. Now I can switch to a smaller brush and start layering in some dark values and some, before that, some detail. But I think that, you know, the focal point is where you want most of your contrast to be, so I'll probably mix a little bit of some darker color. A teeny bit of white. So yeah, probably could have even more black on there. Sorry about that. Interesting. Okay. There we go. So maybe that's dark enough. Probably can't even. Nope. So just gonna have to trust me. And trust myself. Okay, great. So this is the one I was using before. You need to remember to switch brushes. There we go. So, bam. Okay. So that's a bit. Start with one that's a bit more pointed, and it's got less mileage, so I'll be able to work something out of there. So I want to get to work on like the eyes and getting a real mean stare out of this dude. Might leave the teeth for the smallest brush, because it's not that different from the other one I was using. It's just got less mileage on it. Yeah, so this guy's real baddie. So the light, I'm going like up in the corner towards us. There's like a softer light, and then there's a really hard edge light. It'll probably be like a really striking color. And I wanted him to have kind of slits on his neck, kind of like gills. So like this, I didn't spend any time designing the creature. I was just like, Tomorrow War-esque, and just went nuts with it. So it's not like wholly original or not distinguished. It was really so I could have something to paint. What you learn too is that like less is more. When you're painting, you really want to don't fear the brush. Let it speak to you. Just don't be afraid of making big decisions. Kind of like a good old Bobby R would say, you know, the legend. It's funny, every time I'm painting, I'm like, oh, it's not looking that good on camera. It's looking real good in person. And I take a photo of it, and I'm like, oof, it looked real good on video. It's a real toss-up. And there should be like a real method to doing this sort of thing, because I keep painting stuff on the right and then I go ahead and start working on the left side of the canvas. I really need to learn that I'm right-handed and I need to make the left side first and then work on the right side. Because, you know, less smudgage. And it's funny because before I started doing these acrylic washes, I was kind of opposed to using colored pencils before painting, because I was like, that's not painting, that's drawing. But it's not, it's art. So, you know, you're really laying out some pencil like this. It's kind of like using photo textures in Photoshop or 3D, you know? It just helps layer down those shapes and keep your forms. I'm gonna leave that. Okay, so I can put some real darkness, real speed. You want to see some real speed? There you go. Oh, so already an hour and some in. It's going good. It's going good. What I might do is, yeah. In a perfect world, I do want to have like the whole thing finished before my battery runs out on my camera, which, you know, is kind of a fool's errand. I really shouldn't rush this. And another thing I really struggle with is material indication. So like, so that you can tell the difference from stuff that's more glossy. Like, you can tell the difference from the metal, from the skin. It's working those different sliders there in real life. So like reflection, roughness, specular, subsurface scattering, like all that stuff. It's just so hard to it's so nuanced when you're actually painting like yeah, so I'm just working on that car a bit. I don't want it to be too detailed, I guess, because you don't want it to take away from the rest, from the creature. Because the way I did this, the focal point is like pretty high on the image, which I sometimes like to do. You just like off kilter the whole thing you put like the focal point on the top right corner or something. Really to the edge of the page. Sometimes I find it's more dynamic a bit, because I guess like you know, if someone was trying to take a picture of this thing, well, it moves so fast that you can't like get a center frame, you know, you have to deal with what you got. So that's something I always like doing. So for these rocks in the background, I'll probably, you don't want them too light. You don't want them too dark, sorry, or else they'll look like they're at the same distance as your character. I just want some indication. Indication. That's what it's all about. Some like rubble everywhere. This is something that, well, one of many things that Bobby R is really good with. Okay. You know, if this were on the computer, I'd just open up Unreal Engine, throw some 3D Mega Scans in there. Get some nice detailed rubble. Oh, shoot. Well, I guess not building a bit, be a bit higher, or... Okay. So now I think I can go to the smallest brush with the dark paint. So again, just take mix up some even darker paint. Take a second. Just do that. And then come in with my my teeny tiny paintbrush and start laying down the final dark details of the creature. So I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's got a real presence on the page. I lost my brush. Okay, there it is. So thanks to the people at home watching. I always appreciate it. You know, if I wasn't streaming, I'd be doing this anyway, but alone in a dark room. So might as well share, because sharing is caring, you know. Okay, so the smallest one, take this guy right here and get it a little wet, and really go in, not too wet, don't want it to be dripping. Actually, for this, I might bring the face a bit closer to me. There we go. So, yeah boy. Okay, so it's a real interesting hand I got there, isn't it? I guess the rest of it is dry. I can rest my hand on it. Ooh, get some sharp teeth lows. Sorry, just using a bit of. There we go. Wow, we're really quiet. Okay, so again, there, thanks to the people watching. I went into a rabbit hole right there. So this is inspired by the Tomorrow War. I'm close to adding in my darker values. Oh snap! And I'm close to adding in my lighter values actually, because I'm at the smallest brush with the darks. So you know, when I drew this guy, I really hated the hands that I drew, and I don't know if it was laziness or I forgot, but I just left them like that. Oh well. There we go. So get some darks again. A little bit of water. So this is a foot. Okay, again, it's a foot. On the car, can we actually see what we can't even see the area I'm drawing, can we? Sorry about that. So, see, talk about like material indication. I have a really hard time going from like a hard surface to soft surface, I guess, or organic. Organic stuff is so much easier to paint, and like you kind of like a muscle memory for it. But that's why I like drawing crashed cars, because they have a little bit of organic feel to them, because they're all like crumpled up. Don't tell anybody. Okay. Perfect. So I guess I could also do the tongue. So the dark shapes are almost all there. Oh, okay. Let's go. There we go. Nope, nope. Oh yeah. Okay. So perfect. So I'm done with the dark tones. So let's go ahead and start putting in some Do I want to reinforce some red? Maybe. Oh, jeez. Oh, my hand's cramping up. Ow! So my hand was cramping up from the palette. My God. Okay. So just reinforce some of the red shapes in there, and then start with the white pencil crayon just to layer in there where I want some of those shines to be and stuff. Because if I do the white before the red, something really weird happens, and like I think the white is waxier. So if I try to put anything on top of it, color pencil wise, I think paint is fine, but so just, it has some really cool like overlay properties too. When you put it on top of paint, it kind of soaks into some of it. So if you want like those shadows to be like red tinged or something, like say around the mouth, because like it's full of blood. So over the hands too. Probably want this guy to be a bit bloody as well. They use this to like stab people in the movie. Doesn't, you know, it's pretty much, it's mostly my own creature at this point because it doesn't look a lot like, it doesn't look much like what's in the movie. But you know, just okay. I think this is looking pretty cool. Perfect. So then. Okay, white crayon. Okay. Okay. So I didn't want like pretty strong light to be on this side. Ooh. Ooh. So it's not. Not going real well. How did this used to work? That's funny. Wow, I'm gonna need a new white pencil. Oops. It's like scratching into the paper. But it's not giving me anything. Or barely. Oh my God. Did he catch the heat or something? Come on, Prismacolor. Don't disappoint me like this. He used to be good to me. Yeah, so like, I guess on darks it shows up. But other than that, there. Wow. Okay, so I'm really gonna have to wing the light values. Okay. So let's start the white values. I might finish them on a second stream because we're already going on 2 hours. But I'll start them here because I did want to start to see what that looked like. Maybe also can think about what I want the rim light color to be, because I'll probably just do it in complete white, but ooh, wow, it's starting to dry. Yeah, just do it in complete white, but go over it with a bit more color. And bear with me. I'll go ahead and rinse out my Tupperware so that this guy right here, so that I can put my wetted paint on it. All right, be right back.